Hi everyone, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. It is Pendulum Friday. You might be wondering if I shrunk. I didn't actually shrink, but I get so many comments and questions about the picture behind me. Um, it to me, it is like a seascape, right? Sand, pathway to the beach. Um, it just, there you go. That's what it is. That's what it looks like. And I agree. It's one of my favorites. All right, come on down. There we go. And here I am. Okay, before I get started, we have to send out a massive, the biggest, hugest thank you to a lady named Joyce Anderson who has reached out. She's been a subscriber for forever. And she reached out and she said, would it be helpful if I sort of took the questions that you're asked over the course of the 3 videos you release in a week and put them in a format so you could just read the questions and not have to scroll through another device? Well, yeah, that is like amazing. So this is our voided mage, or no, our maiden voyage. Hoy boy. All right, let's just get started right now. Here we go. For those of you who are new, okay, when the pendulum goes side to side like that, it means it's ready to talk. I am protected and I have reached the highest levels of vibration that I need to reach to receive the answers. Pendulum, show me yes. And you'll see the pendulum goes back and forth. Show me no. And you'll notice the pendulum goes round and round. You're going to see some vibration in my hand. It's normal. Here we go. Question for the pendulum. Will Trump be prevented from being on the ballot? Will that sink into his brain deep enough that he realizes his strategy is over? Okay. So let's look at the ballot question first. Now, the way I understand it is the state, each individual state makes that decision. Now, this whole 14th Amendment deal, that's going to take it up to the Supreme Court. But let's just start with some basics here. Will Trump be prevented from being on the ballot in some state? In some states. Okay. Is this going to go all the way to the Supreme Court? Okay, yes. Ultimately, is the Supreme Court going to rule in favor of honoring the 14th Amendment and indicating that he cannot be on the ballot, he is disqualified? Is that going to happen? Okay, that's a yes. Whether it will sink into his brain or not, come on. I don't think I'm mentally strong enough to try to get the answer. And probably it's no. All right. Will Donald be able to pay back the $7 million he grifted from his copyrighted mugshot in Georgia? Will he have to sell property for it? All right. First of all, let's start with are there any plans at this point to go after Trump for copyright infringement? Well, there are. I have to say, I was sort of expecting a non-answer for that one. All right. Is he going to have to pay it back? Yes. Does he have the ready cash to be able to do that? Trump is sort of what we're known as asset rich, cash poor. Anybody who has a mortgage, for example, understands the asset you hold just far exceeds your available liquid cash. Okay, so it looks like he doesn't have it. Is there going to will he have to sell a property to pay for this? Now, this is interesting because I'm getting additional information in my ear. Um, this thing is that they're asking that everybody just brace and recognize that any decision that is made in any court, ultimately he's going to shove it all the way up to the Supreme Court if he possibly can. So there aren't a lot of fast remedies coming, okay? And honestly, if he pushes some of this stuff far enough away, is it possible he may not even be around? Okay, somebody wants to know if it will be proven that Donald Trump is or was, I don't think it can be a was, Russian asset. Was Donald Trump used as a Russian asset? Oh, big time. Was he aware of the fact that he was being used? Well, no, he wasn't. Did he fall into that category of useful idiot for Russia? Yeah, absolutely. Will Texas remove Ken Paxton from office? He's undergoing a vote right now, I think, or they just voted to proceed with the impeachment trial. That was a yes. Is Laura Trump sufficiently pissed at Trump for throwing Eric under the bus that she will stop promoting his run for re-election? No. Eric is going to stick the way the accountant or the controller, whatever his title was, stuck to the bitter end. So I'm sorry, you're gonna have to look at her face for a while longer, I'm afraid. Will Trump have to pay Fulton County back over the $7 million? We've done that. Okay, and second question was, will Truth Social, which is that Trump media, bite the dust if Trump can't come up with the $300 million it needs to give investors this Friday? Is that deal going to just fall apart? Okay. Does he have the money? Could he pay it if he wanted to? Right now he couldn't. No. Will people on Social Security and low income get a stimulus check in 23 or 24? Okay. Is there a stimulus check coming in 2023 for people on Social Security and lower incomes? I'm getting after the election. And will there be another stimulus check issued at some point in 2024? That's a yes too. Let's all keep our fingers crossed. There's nothing fun about living on a very tight restricted income. Just not. Okay, we've answered the question with regards to the mugshot. Will local governments in the US begin to conserve open spaces and forests more as opposed to clearing and building new stores housing while abandoned buildings still exist? So this is the question. Overall, broadly speaking, are local governments starting to pay attention to maintaining green space, conservation areas and that kind of thing? Okay, across the board, that's a yes. Um, is it going to be augmented by federal rules either being reinstated or made more solid with returns to the climate control change, etc.? Yeah. So the bottom line is this: if you have a democratic liberal government, they're going to hop on that much faster. If you have a very conservative government, it's going to take a little bit of time, but they're saying, not quite as much as you would think, because a lot of those red states, sorry about that, a lot of those red states have a lot of, farming country, like land. So you would think that they would be a little bit on top of the fact that you just can't strip everything. What do you see for North Korea and Russia being helped by them? Okay, is North Korea going to be able to help Russia in terms of supplies for this war? That's a yes. Is Trump going to start a riot? Is he capable anymore of starting a riot? No. Okay. All right. Will the tropical disturbance in the Atlantic, soon to be Lee, hit the East Coast next week? You mentioned the crazy dying down the second half of the month and gentled out. People may be in a state of shock. All right, I'm just going to ask them if they can show me a trajectory. As of right now, as in 4:30 on Thursday, Mountain Time. It looks as if it is going to clip sort of the top edge of Florida, and then the two states above that on the eastern coast also look vulnerable. So as of right now, it's only that. I wish I knew what was in that top corner of Florida, but it's very close to the state line. Okay. Will Trump continue to lose lawyers as his case goes south? Yes, he will. They can only do so much for him because he's so guilty. And when he makes it that much harder for them, it just becomes an issue. In Florida, groups of people brandishing Nazi flags and signs saying "We are everywhere" stand around in front of Disneyland and overpass and other public spaces. Are they being paid to do this? Is their intention to intimidate? Pendulum, is this a organized effort by the people who are waving Nazi flags around? Okay, I get it. You're ready to talk. Is this a organized effort? Yes. This is being organized by, I believe it is the Proud Boys, who have a sort of their head office, if you will, in Florida. It seems to be coming from that kind of energy. And is their intention to intimidate? Yeah, it absolutely is. Okay. David Weiss, who was appointed special counsel in August regarding Hunter Biden, intends to bring indictment against Joe Biden's son Hunter by September 29th, according to court documents. What is the outcome of this for Hunter Biden? Will he be convicted? Okay, hold on, back up. Is the indictment going to indeed be filed against Hunter Biden before the end of September? Okay, yes. Is he going to be convicted? I believe they're going after him for the gun possession while, being around narcotics. Is he going to be found guilty? Yes. Is there going to be a prison term? No. There's going to be a feeling, and I don't think wrongly, that he has just been um, targeted for this and they're not going to let go. Are there going to be negative implication for Joe Biden? No. Republicans in the House, um, in the House of Representatives, vow to impeach Joe Biden soon. Will the House impeach Joe Biden? No. Problem is, I think there's something like 9 or 10 Republican districts that Joe Biden won in the election. So you've got a group of people who are like, man, oh man, don't make me do this. Um, there's the bottom line there is there's going to be level heads that say enough is enough. You can't just impeach the previous president or the current president just because you want to. Okay, like they don't have any grounds. And the whole bunch of Biden thing, the Hunter Biden deal is so separate from the presidency. They're going to try to muddy it up, but I don't see them having great success. Will Fani Willis be able to prosecute all of the 19 who supported the former guy before, during, and after the insurrection? Okay, that's a really tricky question. Let's break it down a little bit. Are there people who are, of the 19 people who are currently sharing that indictment with Donald Trump, or the 18 people, are some of them going to flip yet? Yeah, there are. So let's start there. So using the number 19 isn't going to be, it's not going to work. Is Meadows going to be able to turn this into a federal case? That's a no. I, I think that you may actually hear the ruling before this video comes out. Um, will Fani Willis have her request approved to keep the jurors' names private? Yeah, it looks like until the trial's over, but then they're going to end up being released. Um, I didn't finish asking about the question with regards to being able to prosecute all of them, but we'll let it ride until maybe next week and see who's been severed and who hasn't been severed and who's trying to negotiate what. But is she going to have, I'm going to ask it this way, is she going to have good, successful results with the prosecution of these 19? That's a big, strong yes. So let's just keep sending her energy. Looks like Elon Musk is stirring trouble in this platform and siding with far right. Do you see him suffering a downfall? Yes. I don't think it's going to be as soon as we wish it would. So, here's 45 now rescheduled deposition where he is suing Michael Cohen for $500 million. Um, it's now apparently been moved to October 3rd. Is 45 really going to plead the fifth, even though he's the one that brought the suit against Cohen? He's going to try. Will the judge throw out the case and sanction Trump for another frivolous suit? Yes. Will Trump have to pay for Cohen's legal expenses? That's a yes. All right. Yay! Joyce, we did it. And look at that, 20 minutes and 14 seconds. That's so much better. I like it when they're short. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear, but the dog's wishing you a wonderful weekend. It is the weekend. Take care. Do something kind for yourself and someone else. Bye bye.